There's no ceiling on what these guys are able to accomplish.
We just came here to prepare to make the playoff.
It's our job to put this team in a position to be successful.
I have an opportunity here to help this team win ball games.
You have to keep competing and keep earning your job every time you go out there.
You got to go out there and earn it.
Gurriel, way back, we're tied. Cattell Marte has done it again. Corbin Carroll, way back, goodbye, has got it. Another spectacular grab by Alec Thomas.
The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
I was probably hurting more than anything because we weren't there.
Obviously, it's a big challenge with the folks over in LA being the 900-pound gorilla.
Dodgers are good. Two-time defending world champions.
Pretty much every guy in the lineup can do some damage.
But my memory of the way it works in the jungle, the gorilla doesn't win every fight.
We made the right decision coming back here. The culture here is second to none.
We've got really quality players in this clubhouse. Really looking forward to the season.
We expect to do great things.
I don't want to let people down.
You tell him, Ken, that 900-pound gorilla doesn't win every fight. You know what we get to do today, folks? We get to play baseball. Get fired up. You are looking live. Dodger Stadium, LA, sunny Southern California. The backdrop for opening day with the entire country watching in prime time.
The Diamondbacks know what they're walking into, a trophy party with 56,000 of their closest friends. The Dodgers will be hanging another banner, but the Diamondbacks know how to spoil the party in this building.
Lena, we've seen it over and over again.
Sure
They can do it. Speaking of the D-backs, they do not flinch in the face of that 900-pound gorilla. This year's squad brings some added edge, some attitude, fed up with missing the playoffs. These veteran backs are ready to answer back. And this is Diamondbacks baseball back on 12 News. What is up, Arizona? Happiness is a choice as always. Thank you for choosing us. Welcome into D-backs on deck. We are coming to you live on the field here at Dodger Stadium. Cameron Cox, Lita Washington, getting you set for opening day right here on 12 News. D-backs and Dodgers, we're taking you all the way up to first pitch at 5:30. Lita, we got here with the D-backs yesterday. Listen, this team they're ready to roll.
Absolutely. We've been itching for the chance to start playing games that matter. And what better stage, what bigger stage could there be than taking on the two-time defending champs, the division rivals, a team that they've knocked out of the playoffs in the past, but the goal is to get to the postseason in 2026, but it all starts with Game 1 tonight.
Yeah, we finally get a good measuring stick of where this team is. I know they believe they should be in the playoffs. We all know they're going to get some help at some point throughout the year. They're going to get a lot of money back on that payroll back. But listen, the Dodgers spent a lot of money, of course, in the offseason. Not only do they have some of the best players in baseball, they added more. Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz, like this dynasty. I kept asking people, like, where do they hide the gold? There's got to be something out
Maybe
here.
It's under the ballpark.
Yeah, under the stadium.
At Uniqlo Field here.
They got a new stadium name, too, by the way. Yeah, Dodger Stadium's still the name, but a new field name. But listen, we all know what the Dodgers are, but this D-backs team is built to handle them, and we get a good test to see that right here on 12 News tonight. Let's get some D-back on deck headlines to start the show. This is the best news of all. The face of the franchise is ready to roll. Corbin Carroll in the lineup. He's going to play, Lena, just 6 weeks after breaking his hand. Healed up really quick. Going to be out there in right field. Never a doubt in talking with Corbin that he was going to, make it to opening day whatsoever. Pain-free. And if there is any pain, he's going to fight through it.
Yes, credit to the medical staff for getting CC ready to go. We also get to see the debut of Nolan Arenado in Sedona Red for the first time. He's what the biggest new addition is for this organization in the offseason, doubling down on defense. No acquisition shows that more than the move to acquire Arenado from the St. Louis Cardinals. One of the best third basemen in all of baseball for all time. We've seen all spring he's still that guy deep down from defense to long balls. The bat may have slowed up the past couple of years, but he believes that playing in the desert will help that.
Then there's the bullpen, Lena. Listen, it's still a mess, a work in progress. The D-backs will start the season with no left-handed options. No one won the job in spring, so young and old arms are going to have to hold down the fort till A.J. Puck, Justin Martinez return later this year. Paul Sewall will be the closer, even though Torey Lavelle's not going to say it out loud. Remember, he was great during that 23 World Series run, got demoted in 24, played somewhere else in 25, now hopes to find that magic once again in Arizona in 2026.
As you take a look live onto the field, Paul Sewald, another one of the new acquisitions in the offseason, stepping onto the field, meeting some
speaking of the closer,
teammates.
good timing, right?
Exactly. It's like he might be watching D-backs on deck in the clubhouse. Corbin Carroll, Ildemaro Vargas also out there. But now it's time to check in with the third member of our team, Jake Garcia, also out here in Southern California. He is one-on-one with Andrew Hoffman, pitcher in the clubhouse.
What's it going to be like to potentially step out there against the defending champs, against a lineup that's so stacked? How do you guys view that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as every series. I mean, we have a game plan that we're going to try to attack and go from there.
A lot of people look at the offseason that the front office spent kind of not addressing the bullpen, but you're a guy who they acquired at the deadline last year. There's some younger guys in this bullpen as well. How do you feel like you guys can build off of maybe the struggles that this team has had in the past in the bullpen and kind of make it a different story this year?
Yeah, I mean, personally, last year after getting traded, I learned so much in the short time that I was here with the Diamondbacks, and then obviously before when I was with the Royals. I mean, I think we're an experienced group. I think everybody kind of knows what we have to do this year to succeed, and we're gonna go out there and do it.
Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to about to take the field for your first opening day? Let's run through your head.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting that it's opening day, but I think it's the same thing as every other night, just kind of going out there, being ready to pitch when they call our name, and it's going to be that.
On the topic of that, yes, it's only one game. How do you feel like a good opening day can kind of set the tone for what you guys are going to do the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think it's super important. Obviously, like McCann said the other day, you can't make the playoffs in March, but you certainly can find your way out of it. I think that's a big thing, just coming in ready to go and do everything we can as a bullpen to help the team win.
Thanks a lot, Jake. Time for today's lineup. First one of the season, Lena. It is sponsored by the good people over there at Hyundai. Shout out to producer Tyler with these new graphics.
Shout out Tyler, absolutely.
Man, leading off, of course, Ketel Marte. He was scratched from the spring training finale, but all is good. A franchise record 9th opening day start for Marte. Batting third right there. Look at that. Geraldo Perdomo. Remember, he was in the NL MVP race last season, followed by Gabby Moreno, Pavin Smith DHing, Nolan Arenado, the SoCal kid who we just saw take the field. Lena, he's hitting 347 on opening day. He shines bright in game one. Look at this. Carlos Santana, 16 consecutive opening day starts, second among active players behind Andrew McCutchen. You got Alec Thomas in center, Jordan Lawler in left. Torey Lovullo likes him in that 9th spot to turn over the lineup, getting back to 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, Zach Gallen on the mound. More on him later in the show.
Yes, and it's Yoshi Yamamoto on the mound for the Dodgers, but it's global superstar Shohei Ohtani DHing and leading off for LA, followed by Kyle Tucker, the big offseason acquisition that some fans across the country were punching the air, seeing that the Dodgers got richer. Then Mookie Betts. He's one of Torey Lovullo's favorite players, going back to his time in Boston as the bench coach. First baseman Freddie Freeman batting cleanup, followed by catcher Will Smith, Max Muncy in the 6th hole, then Teoscar Hernandez in left, Andy Pajes at center, followed by Miguel Rojas to round it out. Yeah, big boo LA energy.
There we go.
Absolutely. We can hear the boos all the way in Southern California. But coming up ahead on D-backs on deck, he's the ace of the staff again. Only 12 Sports is one-on-one with D-backs opening day starter Zach Gallen, the milkman, ahead of his 4th straight opening day start. He's ready to deliver again.
And then later on in the show, we are stopping by Nolan Arenado's high school in Southern California, how a Hall of Fame career started and how it continues to inspire the next generation. This is D-backs Baseball on 12 News.
D-backs on Deck is sponsored by Bright Wealth Management. Bright futures start here.
Welcome back to D-Backs on Deck, coming to you live from Dodger Stadium. All right, Lena, here's the opening day pitching matchup. Zach Gallen making his 4th straight opening day start. Remember, he wasn't on the roster to start spring training, decided to come back when he didn't get a big deal somewhere else, and got the nod after Merrill Kelly was scratched from opening day with a back injury. We all know Gallen did not have a good season last year. He knows it. He believes he's still an all-star. He is going up against World Series MVP Yoshi Yamamoto. He owns the D-Backs, a 3-1 record, 1.93 ERA, 43 strikeouts in 6 starts. Back out here live at Dodger Stadium. You're looking at the D-Backs warming up, Lena. Listen, we're getting closer and closer to first pitch out here at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see some of the new faces like Carlos Santana, of course Jordan Lawler, trying to really solidify his position here at the big league level. Yeah. We're looking at Luis Gonzalez in the dugout. He'll be calling the game tonight here on 12 News. Oral Horsheiser, Bob Costas, a lot of big names here. And then, of course, Magic Johnson throwing out the first pitch.
It's just magic. It's just magic.
It is LA Magic.
Yeah, there we go.
Of course. Well, you mentioned Zach Gallen, and he's told us in the past that he wants to spend the rest of his career here in Arizona. We actually ran into him at the Fiesta Bowl in January. He said, I don't know where I'm going to end up. Turns out about a month later, he signs a 1-year deal to come back to the desert, and he's making his 4th consecutive opening day start. Only 2 other Diamondbacks players have done that, and they've been Cy Young Award winners, Brandon Webb and Randy Johnson. Being among those greats here in Arizona is something that Gallen does not take lightly.
Swing and a miss. There's the strikeout, and there's the new record. Zach Gallen, a new Diamondback record.
What has the journey been like for you just to get to this moment, to kind of be that solid arm that this organization can rely on?
It's very humbling. I've seen a few things just over the last couple weeks of just the names of guys who've made the amount of opening day starts they have for this franchise. So to kind of be, up there with them is really cool.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Zach Gallen has 8 strikeouts.
When you look at this pitching staff, what word would you use to describe this group?
The one that comes to mind, the easiest, is probably experienced, battle-tested in a sense.
Year 10 for Torrey and Mike kind of working together here in this organization. What has their trust in you meant to you in your development?
I always think back to my first face-to-face interaction with Hayes post-trade, and he'd kind of give me a little insight as to what he had to give up to acquire me and the expectation he'd put on me. And not in a pressure sense, it was just more of like, this is what I did, I need you to, be who you are. I think for some people that could, scare them, but to have that confidence in me, was refreshing. I think, especially for me being here now for, I think this is year 8, and being around those guys for so long, like, just to have the ability to go into Hayes' office, go into Torrey's office. I don't think that happens in a lot of organizations. So to have the comfort to be able to go in there and pick their brain or share with them, something I might be unsatisfied about or any of those things, I don't take that for granted. I think that, and for them to be able to listen and then take those things and hopefully be able to apply them in places where they feel like that it can work, I think just speaks to their leadership. Even Torrey, I remember one of my first outings, he was like, I'm gonna treat you like a veteran until you prove to me otherwise. So for him to be able to give me that kind of leash, normally I think in baseball it goes the opposite. That allowed me to do what I needed to do and be comfortable in my skin.
What's your message to all the D-Backs fans out there?
For the fans, I know that they probably feel like last year was a failure, and they're not wrong to feel that way. Considering the talent we had last year, maybe we got an unfair shake with injuries and things like that, but I think for this year, you're seeing guys who understand that last year didn't go how we wanted it to. You got some guys who have some things to prove, whether it's coming off injury or just coming off bad years, or maybe guys towards the end of their career, or guys that are trying to start their career. I think we just have a lot of guys with chips on their shoulder that want to prove that they either can stay here for as long as they can, or prove that they are still the guy that you might have been a couple years ago. So I think we're in a good spot.
Lena, he could be that guy. He could be that guy.
Absolutely could be.
All right, time for the injury report. It is sponsored by our good friends over there at Jungle Law. We fight, you win. D-backs pitcher Merrill Kelly, of course, is starting the season on the 15-day injured list. A nerve injury in his back kind of bumped him out of course, starting today, pushed him back a few weeks in spring, didn't really get started ramping up his season until about mid-March. So he's a little bit behind, but good news, he's fine. There's no pain. He just needs some more time to ramp up. Look for the middle of April for Merrill Kelly to be good to go. Also, more good news that we're hearing, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. was placed on the 10-day IL to start the season. You could see him DHing in some games here very soon.
And you're going to see another big-time name here with us on D-Backs on Deck. Very soon, we'll be joined by pitcher Ryan Nelson. He'll be pitching here tomorrow for a big-time game, a Friday night in L.A. Stay with us. You're watching D-Backs on Deck live at Dodger Stadium.
Jungle Law. We fight, you win.
go out there and compete. I really love doing it, and to get to do it on the biggest stage it's awesome. It's a blessing.
Nelly, you've earned this, man, and it's been so much fun to watch your career. The hard work has paid off. Take gratitude in that, or when you reflect on the journey, from being on the bubble to make the roster, to being on the bubble to make the rotation, to starting in the bullpen. But now you're one of the guys they're going to rely on every 5 days. Just what's the journey been like?
Definitely, yeah. I'm really proud of myself for the way I handled a lot of the things that were, kind of the steps that I had to take to get here.
They asked you to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that I handled it the best way I thought I could with grace and with team mindset, and I think that mindset kind of helped me get through it. Never feeling sorry for myself or rooting against teammates. I always wanted to be a good teammate and just do the best I could to improve myself. And I knew that if I just kept that mindset, kept working hard, that eventually the opportunity would come and I'd be able to take full advantage of it.
When I talked to you a couple days ago, I asked you kind of what were the emotions of maybe being on the bubble out of spring training, and you said you're still considering yourself to be on the bubble, like you're fighting and competing every time that you come out to spring training. But I'm curious what you would tell the 15-year-old version of yourself, knowing that you're the second guy in a big league rotation, starting against the Dodgers. What would be your message to the teenage version of yourself seeing this dream realized?
Oh man, teenage me would be super pumped, probably upset that I'm not playing shortstop, but
because you do like to swing the bat
too.
too.
No, he would be so pumped to know that we're here right now, and I just tell him to never stop believing in yourself. Sometimes you can feel like you don't belong, or that you're, you somehow lucked your way into this situation, and you get that imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But I just tell myself to always believe in myself and know how capable I am.
Yeah. All right. So what are the sights and sounds you're looking forward to about opening day?
I'm excited to hear the roar of the plane coming over. I hope there's a flyover. I'm not sure.
There is.
There's got to
Yep.
be it.
Okay.
There is. We saw the airmen walking by, so they're here. Ready to go.
And the crowd, these fans really get into it, so it's fun. It's a good atmosphere. And then once those lights go turn on and sun goes down, the place turns pretty incredible.
Nelly, how about to shut this crowd up?
Yeah, there's no better sound than silence.
Maybe some silence.
Yeah. What's it like to do that in this building?
It's great. It's great, and then you hear the sprinkle of our fans in there, cheering us on, coming into enemy territory and cheering us on. So that's always fun. And maybe the crack of some of our bats and the glove popping. It's just baseball sounds. It's always great.
Do you think maybe we'll see you hit it all? Tori did tell us early in spring that you're the emergency guy.
This is an ongoing conversation.
Yeah. Like we always ask him who's coming in, and it's like Ryan Nelson.
It's probably a non-zero chance.
Oh, really?
So I think that you can't say never, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
very Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance.
They should consider it. Listen, you're perfect, right? that batting average is.
Yeah, exactly.
See?
Yeah,
we'll see.
Without question.
We're going to see Ryan Nelson throw his best stuff tomorrow night here at Dodger Stadium. Ryan, thanks for joining us here on D-Backs on Deck.
Thanks for having us.
That's right. Coming up on D-Backs on Deck, listen, we've talked about it for a long time now. They're going to celebrate the 25th anniversary of that 01 World Series run. It's going to be a very special year.
Yes.
But did you know something also very special? Happy 25 years ago, this past Tuesday.
Is that right?
That relates to that run. And it kind of started the season on it.
Well.
We'll talk about it next. D-Backs on deck, coming to you live from Dodger Stadium in LA. Let's send it back in the clubhouse. Join the third member of our crew, Jake Garcia's one-on-one with Tim Tawa, who is probably the best football player on this roster.
Low key.
And really the best utility player, too, as well.
Sure is.
I think that's one of the hardest things to do in baseball. Is to come off the bench and pinch hit and have a quality at bat. I think all you can do is be as prepared as possible, whether it's looking at reports or getting some swings in the cage. But there's definitely a balance between doing too much and doing too little. I think I got better at it as the year went on last year, and as I kind of settled into that role. And there's always room for improvement. I think that it's a learning process, but I feel better about where I am, the swing that I have now, and how that can help me and potentially put me in a better spot to fill that role or do a better job there. But that being said, pinch hitting is super hard, so trying to give myself grace and understand that too, and mentally have that approach also is part of it too.
Last thing for me on that, how do you balance like wanting to, show the coaching staff what you can do and carve out a role for yourself, while also like giving yourself grace and understanding that like these are just one at-bat samples and you can't go up every single time and hit a 5-run homer. So how do you balance the stress, but also the need to show what you can do?
Yeah, it's tough. I think that's part of my role, I think, is being able to understand and accept that sometimes you only have one opportunity, one chance to make an impact, and that's baseball. It's a hard game, and not every time you're going to have success. But I think working with the mental skills staff and the hitting staff, and just understanding that everybody also gets how hard it is to pinch hit and have success in that role. So not the expectation isn't that you're going to get a hit. Every time I go up there, I'm expecting to make a positive impact or do that. But the reality is that's just not going to happen. So I try and just be as prepared as I possibly can, try and put myself in the best position to have success, and then kind of like even if I was starting, it's once you're out in the field, the results are the results. You prepare all off season or all pregame for that moment, and you kind of just let what the results are, let them be.
Jake, thanks a lot. Welcome back out here live to Dodger Stadium. You are looking live. Lena, I did not know that they left fans in this early.
Well, they were walking in at 11:30, ready to go, all decked out in Shohei Ohtani uniform and everything.
Man, this place, it rocks. 56,000 strong, all of LA, all the eyes of the baseball world will be on this game tonight. D-Backs and Dodgers right here on 12 News. First pitch is at 5:30. Opening day, D-Backs baseball, really baseball in general. Back on 12 News, we're fired up.
Yes, and of course the charm of Dodger Stadium, harkening back to a time of the past, right?
There's so much history. You walk all the hallways.
The nostalgia.
There's pictures, there's old photos. Everywhere you turn, there's a piece of baseball history.
And then, of course, there's all the Gold Gloves and World Series championship trophies. But we're going to talk about the World Series championship team in Arizona in just a bit. But it's time to open up the 12 Sports Vault. Thanks to our friends at 72 Sold, it's time to dust off those VHS tapes.
From the 12 Sports Vault is sponsored by 72 Sold. Get more money for your home at 72sold.com.
Well, if you're around March 24th, 2001, 25 years ago, Randy Johnson blew a bird up with a fastball in spring training in Tucson. Pour one out for the bird, but this was just a baseball memory that lives in lore, captured by one outfield camera that was on and functioning. Johnson never liked to talk about this event. As a player, you would understand that, right? Traumatizing. But since retiring, he started a photography business, which is he had displays and exhibits out in Scottsdale. But he said the dead bird is his company logo now.
Yeah, if you look it up, look it online, it is definitely the logo. That's the way kind of Randy has honored it post-playing career. Listen, he'll talk about his photography all day long.
Yes.
And he'll answer questions all day long. It's crazy to see Randy transform from that so intimidating guy
the big unit
to now somebody who's just super friendly. But I'll say this, the number one question he gets asked about, regardless, baseball, strikeouts, you name it, his photography. And I'm going to quote him because it's a funny quote, "That damn bird." Quote from the big unit. That's the number one question fans always talk about.
We want to see the Diamondbacks playing in October, but one of the things that I did like to see on Halloween was a couple dressed up as Randy Johnson and the bird, making some light of a kind of dark situation on the diamond.
All right, we'll have much more here for D-Backs on Deck coming up next. Hey, listen, this is a really cool story you'll only see right here on 12 News. We are going home with D-Backs third baseman Nolan Arenado, his SoCal roots to now this Hall of Fame career. We'll have that story coming up next right here on D-Backs on Deck.
D-Backs on Deck is sponsored by Bright Wealth Management. Bright futures start here.
Welcome back to D-Backs on Deck. Manager Torey Lavelle speaking before the game. Let's listen in.
20 home runs and had 100 RBIs and a very, very productive year. So I don't want him to change anything, no matter where they hit. And I've told these guys, you could walk in one day and be hitting 8th. You can walk in one day and be hitting 5th. It doesn't mean change anything. It's just the construction of the lineup and where we're at that day.
When did you talk to Patel about it?
I talked to him about 4 or 5 days ago.
So you could. He didn't need too much convincing, or he was.
He's like, let's do it. Let's do it. I said, well, I'll tell you what. At the end of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, let's circle back and have a conversation about it. See how it's going for you.
So you could do some more switching up and down at the second part of the order if you want.
The second part, like 5 through 9. Yeah, you're going to see that. That's going to be very fluid. That's going to be a group of guys that's just bouncing around, and I don't want to say who's hot and who's not, but that's sometimes the reality of it. I want guys to hit and be productive and help us score runs.
We all make such a big deal about opening day.
Yeah.
Is there any logic to the thought that how you guys perform today kind of sets the tone for what you guys are going to do the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think it's day one of a baseball season where you turn the boys loose and you get a chance to see what they look like as a group. This group has not been together a lot because of the WBC, so I'm still learning them. And we trained them as hard as we could, and I think there's just an overall general excitement when you get to this point. Like, it's opening day. It's the same thing for everybody. It doesn't matter if it's little league, high school, college, or professional baseball. It's day one of a season where everybody's filled with optimism, and this team is in a good spot.
What do you got here, Tor?
That is Jimmy Garrett's birthday present. He told me if I do anything for him on his birthday, he's going to be mad at me. And as soon as I heard that, that immediately opened up the door for me to have him get mad at me and kind of present that to him. So he should have just said, I hope you get something for me. I'd have been like, dude, no, let's keep it really quiet. But as soon as he said don't, I said, oh.
Did you get this from too?
Yeah, that's actually Perdomo's. Perdomo's supposed to come by. I'm holding it here until he comes in and signs that bottle. It's kind of smart.
There's a reason why you're skipper.
That's right. That's right.
You're still leaning toward your old closer as your new closer, perhaps?
Yeah. I know we have a bunch of experience in the bullpen, but yeah, Paul's done it. I'll probably start to lean on that and look at that first. But I won't be held to that. I haven't named a closer on purpose, and I think Paul is very capable of handling that. If he does, we'll continue to look at it. But we have 8 really good arms down there that are throwing strikes. I like some experience in that position because you're not going to be knock-kneed. You're going to just go up there and execute a game plan. So I want somebody to go up there in the 9th inning and throw strikes like you always would, or you're trained to. So I think Paul's a good starting point for us.
You are listening live to D-Backs manager Torey Lavelle as we continue to count you down to first pitch. D-Backs and Dodgers right here on 12 News. First pitch is at 5:30. You are looking live at the batting cages right here at Dodger Stadium. That is Nolan Arenado, leader. We cannot wait to see what he does in a D-Backs uniform tonight, making his D-Backs debut and back home in his hometown.
Yes, and we actually had an opportunity to check in with some folks who knew Nolan before he was a big-time star, but as Jake Garcia tells us, they had an inkling he'd be one of the best in the game way back when.
A blast from the present, under the backdrop of a blast from the past.
Down there to say, kid.
El Toro High School baseball gets a constant reminder of where it wants to go and who it wants to be. Their role model is right in front of them. 20 years ago, Nolan Arenado was a bright-eyed freshman, digging into this box, defending this base. Kept off the varsity roster in his first year.
There's some lost footage right here.
But firmly on the radar of the head coach.
I just fed him balls and threw to him and told him how great he was.
Mike Gonzalez knew it the moment they met. Nolan would be the next big thing.
I always knew he was destined to be great, but you just never think that, man, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
First, he had to decide on a position.
We had an opportunity to play first base, and he was like, I'll play first base. He goes, I'll play anywhere you want me to play, coach, as long as I can help the team.
It positioned the program for unprecedented success.
For 3 straight years, the teams he played on never lost a back-to-back game. I mean, that's never happened. I go back and look at that, and that is just unbelievable.
It got even better.
Oh, yeah, right here, yeah. All these guys. That was a good group of guys.
The school's first ever state title.
This is the 2008 CIF championship that we played at Dodger Stadium where Nolan was on the team.
Nolan not just there, but the main character. A big game at the plate led to an even bigger celebration.
He's head and shoulders above everyone else.
Literally in the photo and figuratively on the field. Nolan knocked so many hits, it led to a scholarship offer from Arizona State. But Arizona would have to wait.
Just decided to sign out of high school and not go to Arizona State.
Arizona doesn't have to wait anymore. Arenado makes his D-backs debut on opening day at Dodger Stadium.
It's an opportunity for our kids to see a guy who's had success at the highest level of how he goes about his business.
His present under the backdrop of his past.
Just gives our guys an opportunity to see, oh man, it's possible.
Oh, thanks a lot, Jay. Great story.
Great stuff, and we have even more good stuff coming up with you here on D-Backs on Deck. You are looking live at relief pitcher Ryan Thompson, a friend of the program. He'll be joining us here. Wave to the people in Arizona, Ryan.
Yeah, he's fired up, ready to go.
You'll hear from him in a couple minutes, folks. Stay with us.
Corbin Carroll, the D-Backs play right here on 12 News.
Live from Dodger Stadium, we're taking you all the way up to first pitch between the D-Backs and Dodgers, 5:30 right here on 12 News. All right, since it is the first D-Backs on Deck of the year, it is only fitting to have our favorite guest, one of the favorite guests of the program. I'm just kidding. Our favorite guest.
Okay,
you know
that's
that.
better.
You know that.
Okay.
D-Backs relief pitcher Ryan Thompson. Ryan, it's good to see you, man. How fired up are you? Listen, I know how you get.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool to be here on opening day, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's incredible. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for all spring training, all off season. We're here, we're facing the defending champions. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah. What did opening day mean to young Ryan? Did you call out of school? Did your parents make a whole event out of it? Like, what did this day mean to you as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I was a super fan.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew every pitcher's mechanics. Like,
No
I
way.
practiced them in the mirror. I had every mechanics down.
Wow.
I had everyone's batting stances down. I was like practicing righty, lefty. I knew it all. I was watching all the games. It was the only time my dad let me stay up late. Baseball is everything.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Dad.
You know, it's
that's right.
crazy. Growing up, you try all those weird batting stances, And Dad was always like, "You are not Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't swing the bat like Gary Sheffield." It happens. They're unique to the own player, right?
But the thing is my dad would always tell me, "Hey, you're not Bung Hung Kim."
Oh.
And then one day I had a coach recommend I throw sidearm, and I did it, and now I'm pitching for the Diamondbacks throwing sidearm.
Yeah.
I'm still not Bung Hung Kim, but I throw sidearm.
But you're Ryan Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you to be on this ride with this organization for the last couple years, the highs of being in the World Series, the lows of missing the playoffs, and now you get a fresh start, and this team is hungry. You said you guys are ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, it is a family, and it's not a cliche. We're a family, and every family goes through ups and downs, and we've had the highest of highs, like you're saying, the lowest of lows. You know, I can only remember 2024 being in that clubhouse with the guys, watching the Braves and the Mets play those games and just hoping that one of them swept.
Yeah.
And that feeling, that gut-wrenching feeling of not making playoffs that year. And then remembering what it was like to beat the Phillies in Game 7 of the NLCS and go to the World Series, and that was the highest of the high. And remembering all those feelings, it's emotional. And you build bonds with your teammates and the staff members and the fans. Like, that's the craziest thing is it's not just your teammates. It's not just your lifelong friends, but it's the people that believed in you.
Yeah.
It's Ken Kendrick. It's Derek Hall. It's Mike Hazen. It's all those guys that believed in you, put you in those spots, and we're like celebrating after together of us all being cohesive.
Yeah.
Coming in from the bus and coming in from Philly and seeing the fans waiting for us to get off the plane. And
It
just
was a late
it's
night.
like, you know, it's just like seeing Phoenix come together in that moment. We're starving for that again,
Yes.
and that's what we're really excited for this year. We have a team that is once again an underdog.
And you guys embrace that.
We embrace it.
Yeah.
We love that. That's when we play at our best. We play with freedom and peace, and I'm really excited to see what we do this year.
Underdog, but a ton of talent on this roster.
Oh my
right?
God!
A bunch of dogs on the roster.
When you look
Yeah.
across the roster, what do you see?
I see top to bottom incredible talent, and I'm biased on the bullpen. I think our bullpen is going to be really, really good this year, and we have a lot of guys in AAA that should be in the big leagues.
Yeah.
We are so deep, and so it's going to be fun to see what we do this year. And we have 6 amazing starting pitchers.
That's right.
We have a lineup that's super deep. We have amazing defense. I think that's something that we really, really improved in the offseason is we added third and first base, so it's top of the league. And so doing that, we are outfield. I think Lawler's going to be incredible in the outfield.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be a really good team. I think we're going to keep runs off the board.
Yeah,
Listen,
I know.
because you brought it up, the bullpen. I just want to ask, no lefties in the bullpen. Fans seem a little worried about that. Should they be?
I mean, no.
No. Okay, there we go.
I mean,
he cleared it up.
I mean, the thing is that's like a what's the word? Like that's like a standard, right? It's like you have to have this, you have to have that. But that's not how sports works, right?
It's not just all the same.
Every team has their own things that they do, and what we prioritized was we put the best 8 guys that we felt like were best for the job. And the people that are running the show, the people that are making decisions on the D-backs have a track record of making really good decisions. They are very smart. They have reasons why they do everything. And our job as 8 righties in the bullpen is to like get excited about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like they believed in us. We didn't have to go out and sign a bunch of lefties to do what the fans maybe wanted or what the standard might be throughout the league.
Sure.
They believed in us to get the job done, so we have to prove them right to go out there and say, look, we can go get lefties out just like you believed in us to do.
Yeah, I know it was a tough decision for Torrey to make those cuts and get down to the roster. But now that this roster is set and you know who's going into battle with you here in Game 1 in this series, what's the vibe? Like, what's the energy? If you were to put it in one word, how's this clubhouse feeling right now?
Electric.
All right.
Excitement. And for me, I know you wanted one word, but like for me, like I'm so excited this year to come into every single stadium and take a little bit different approach and declare every single field holy ground in Jesus' name.
Yes.
To take the kingdom of heaven everywhere we walk and to bring freedom, joy, and peace everywhere and to watch that produce victories.
Yeah. And you are studying theology for those at home.
Yes,
watching.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There we go. D-back pitcher Ryan Thomas ready for opening day. Should be a fun one, right?
It'll be fun.
What do you, real quick, we got about 30 seconds left. Opening day, what do you look forward to right at the beginning of the day?
Well, something that we talk about all the time is the flyover, the energy, the environment, the before the game introductions, just the buzz. It's so exciting.
There we go. Opening day ready.
Couldn't ask for a better, bigger stage than right here in LA at Dodger Stadium.
That's right. Ryan Thompson here with us. We'll have much more from Dodger Stadium coming up right after this.
Live at Dodgers Stadium, we're getting you ready for first pitch. But we want to know, are you a faithful or a traitor?
Oh, good question.
Oh, yes. I like to think sports is a large-scale reality TV show sometimes. Tons of characters, storylines, competition, drama, you name it. D-backs ace Zach Gallen and his wife Elise spent their downtime in the offseason watching the hit reality competition show, The Traitors. So I asked Gallen to play Alan Cumming of the D-backs clubhouse and select some snakes of a different variety. Take a listen.
If you feel my touch on your shoulder, then you are a traitor.
If you were to tap the shoulders of people in this clubhouse to be traitors, who would you pick as the 3 traitors in this D-backs clubhouse? Who would bring the most conniving, conspiratorial, commiserating energy?
All right. I don't know. That's a really good question. I would say, I think Jerry would be fun. Like, I don't know that he would bring the conniving, like, traitor
I don't
vibe.
think he'd be discreet about it.
That's what, see, for me, if I'm consuming this as a television product, I would be highly entertained by Jerry trying to be a traitor. Because as soon as he got called out that he was, I think everything would break loose.
Cover blown.
Yes. I think Clarky is kind of a silent assassin.
Okay.
So I think Clarky would be a good one. He's smart. He's kind of got that, like, intellect to be like, all right, I could, piece this together. And then the third.
One more person in the turret.
Should we take an outfielder?
Ooh. I think Corbin would be good because he'd be like a Rob, I'm so quiet the whole time. Fly under the radar.
Yeah, I would say that. I don't hate Corbin.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Clarky, we got a position, we got an infielder. All right, yeah, let's go Corbin Carroll just to get the outfielders in there.
All right.
So yeah, I think that'll be good.
Solid.
A twisted new season of The Traitors is finally here.
Yeah, it's
That's
nice
good stuff.
talking. Thank you. It's nice to talk stuff and contracts with the guys, but it's also nice to know what they like to do in their spare time. They're just like us, watching reality TV.
I have not seen the show.
You gotta watch it.
Apparently I got to watch the show.
Absolutely.
So we can break it down like who's who, what, right?
But I did like how he selected Jerry,
Yeah,
Geraldo
of
Perdomo,
course.
the personality of the clubhouse, right?
Lena, he's so much fun to watch. It's kind of like watching the fans here. Like, this place is just such a great place to watch a baseball game. There'll be 56,000 people tonight rocking this building for, of course, the game on 12 News. But back to Perdomo, like, he's just such a joy to be around. He was in the MVP race last year. A lot of fun to watch. Expects another big year this year. But according to Jerry, he's got a little opening day secret. He charges his bats. Listen. Do you talk to the bats like Cattell does? Because there's video of him talking to his bats sometimes. Do you talk to your bats?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I put on charger too. You know, if you know, I just tell him like, hey, you gotta do something. If you know where you go. You go to the trash.
Yeah, you got to say nice things to it to get it going, right?
You know, I always, I clean it up, give you some love, kiss. That's how we acting, man.
That's whatever works, right?
Yeah, whatever's works. Yeah, but I always put on charger. After the game, I put on charger.
So where's the charger? Just
the charger. I have a charger, yeah, for the bat.
Bat charger?
You didn't know that?
I didn't.
Come on, man.
You'll have to show me that when we get back to Chase Field.
I will show you. I will show you when we go back to Chase Field.
Yeah, so apparently I got to find out where this bat charger is. And then I asked him at the end, you go full charge for game one? He goes, yeah, full charge for Yamamoto.
It has to be 100% charged.
It needs to be because he's batting third tonight.
That's right.
And he's not your traditional number 3 hitter. But Perdomo, I don't expect him to change at all who he is when he's up there.
Not at all, because listen, the top 3 guys in that lineup, Jake, they get on base a lot. Cattell Marte, Corbin Carroll, and Geraldo Perdomo. So let him lead off. Let him rock the top of that lineup and see what happens. And Jake, you got some lineup news changes that are coming down, right?
Yeah, the D-backs had to scratch Pavin Smith tonight. Apparently he was dealing with some left elbow soreness when he was going on the field taking his pregame warm-ups. Tim Tawa slides in the DH spot in his place. So Tawa will bat 9th. Everyone else in the lineup kind of shifts up a spot with the exception of Alec Thomas. But yeah, it'll be great for Tim Tawa, who just made his first opening day roster today. So he makes his first start on opening day now as well.
What an amazing journey and story to go from a guy who we watched kind of get called up and try to find his spot here on the roster. Now he's opening the season at Dodger Stadium on national TV.
And it was so funny because the interview that we did in the clubhouse, 30 minutes ago, we were under the assumption that he wasn't in the starting lineup tonight. So we talked all about the role that he's going to play. Utility, come off the bench, pinch hit. How hard is that? You're not hot in the game. All of a sudden you have to ramp it up, come in, face a Dodgers reliever who's probably throwing 102 miles an hour, and now he's starting tonight.
But guys, again, just like spring training, like game 1 before the ball rolls out, we got injury news already. This team just can't catch a break, can't they?
They can't, but they're getting guys back slowly. Of course, Corbin Carroll with his superhuman recovery. Miro Kelly won't be down long, and you see guys like Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Corbin Burns trending in the right direction. But this team is really just ready to set the tone, as you asked Torey Lovello just moments ago. It does kind of set the tone to get a win in Game 1.
And I think it's so important for this team to realize that, because what's happened the past 2 years? 2 years ago, last day of the regular season, they're eliminated. Last year, they're playing up until the last week of the regular season, and the message coming from the clubhouse was, man, we wish we had a few of those games back early in the season.
Yeah.
So the games in September count just as much as the ones at the start of the season, so why not stack some wins early to give yourself some breathing room late?
That's right. The stacking wins early starts right here on 12 News. It is almost here. D-backs and Dodgers opening day tonight on 12 News. We're taking you all the way up to first pitch at 5:30. We are so blessed to have D-backs baseball back on 12 News. And listen, after the game, very special post-game edition of 12 Sports Locker Room, followed by an extended edition of 12 News at 10. And then don't forget, 12 News is your home for D-backs baseball this season. We got 11 games for you this season, including tonight, for free in prime time. And then, of course, the home opener Monday night against the Tigers. We'll see you again right here on 12. That'll do it for us. Thank you so much for watching D-backs on Deck live from L.A. Baseball is back. The season is on deck. 12 News at 4 is next.
D-backs on Deck is sponsored by Bright Wealth Management. Bright futures start here.